Hello everyone. Okay, so how are you today? Good? Okay. So my name is Erlan. I am from Indonesia. So it is my first time to Switzerland. So I feel so excited, especially to see snow. So it's my first time to see snow. So this is my sixth day in Switzerland, and I will be back to Indonesia on next Monday. So welcome. So and thank you for coming to this brown bag. So now I'm working for Compassion in Indonesia. What is Compassion? Compassion is an organization, non-profit organization that we are helping poor children. We are helping the children in needs. So now there are more than 2 million children who are joining Compassion Project, and we're sponsoring them. And so we operate in 25 countries. So in Africa region, in Asia region, in Latin America region, and also in Asia we have like in Indonesia, in Philippines, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh and Thailand. And so we have like a global partner. Global partner is the country who have sponsors, and we have one of them is in Switzerland. So we can find Compassion in Switzerland. So we are helping the children so they can go to school. We are helping the children so they can have medical checkup twice a year, and so we can give uniform to the school to the children so they can continue the school. So I believe that everyone has a story. So you have a story, I have a story, and so this is my story. So when I was child, I'm the fourth child of 5 siblings. So I have 2 older sisters, I have 1 older brother and 1 younger brother. So when I was child, I also living in the poverty. So my background was coming from the poor family. At that time, my father's worked as a driver with a limited income. At that time, it's only $9 a month. And so it's very limited income. And then, so we just living in a simple house. So this is my family. So, this is the most handsome one, right? Yeah, so it's me. So we live in the simple house like this, made from the bamboo sheet. And it's just 5 meters times 4 meters. So there was only a small room there. So every day we are sleeping together, 7 people in one room with a thin mattress. And there is no electricity in my home when I was a child. There is no clean water. So every day I have to go and walking for around 500 meters to get the clean water. So every day I carry the buckets and then I take the clean water so I can bring it home. So during the night, there is no electricity. So often that I have to study in the darkness using only a candle, a small candle. And I do the study, I do the homework and everything. So when I was child, I know the feel of hunger. Because for so many times, I could not eat anything. So most of the time, we go to bed. I went to bed with an empty stomach because there is no food that we can eat. In the morning, we never had breakfast as well because there is nothing to be eat. And so in the morning, I went to school. In school, I see that my friends, they bring something from home. Or even if they didn't bring something, they have money to buy something in the canteen. So sometimes I feel jealous with the situation. I feel jealous with my friends that they have something to be eat. They have money to buy something in the canteen, something like that. So when I was 7 years old, that I still remember that in one night that my family they didn't get much rice, so they only have a small of rice. So because in Indonesia, every time always with rice, 3 times meals with rice. So then my parents put so many water, so it and then cook it so it become porridge. So then my mother divide it into 5 plates and then so giving to all 5 children. But I see that my parents didn't eat anything. So if you see my body like today, it's because I don't want to throw away the food. I just eat everything. So when I was 7 years old, I was abused by the absence of father. Because my father decided to leave my family. So he gone without any information, without any news. And even he never come back to Indonesia. He never come back to our family. So when I was 7.5 years, there was a compassion project close in the neighborhood. It's close to my house. So my mom registered me and my younger brother. So he's my younger brother. So he's handsome too. And so this is the inside of my house. So this is the bamboo sheet, something like that. So then my mom registered me and my younger brother to join Compassion Project. When the first time I joined Compassion Project, that I see that my friends, including my younger brother, got sponsored directly. But not me. So I have to wait for almost a year to get a sponsor, to get someone to support me. Even I can still continue the program, but I will never get a letter from the sponsor, something like that. That's the difference between sponsor, the children who have sponsor and not. The children who have sponsor, they will receive a letter, they will receive a gift, just a little gift like a bookmarker or something like that, or the family picture of the supporter. But because I was unsponsored kid, so I never received it. So sometimes I feel jealous with my friends and also my younger brother at the project. And then I see that, oh, why? Why they receive a letter, but not me? So many times I ask to the project staff that, why I don't have a sponsor? But the project staff just told me, yeah, you just need to pray. And then God will send you the best supporter for you. Something like that. And then, so actually when I was child, I had no self-confidence. Even I don't have a social life. Because every time I went to school in the morning, after the school hour, I just return to my home and I never play with my neighborhood. Because I don't have any confidence to join with them. I don't have any confidence that I feel that I'm nothing. I'm from the poor family. I don't have anything. So I don't have a self-confidence. So I just watch from the window every day that my friends in the neighborhood playing together. But I don't have a courage or confidence to join them. So when I was child, I never heard the word of love. Because I grew up without a father. And also even my mom. She never said that I love you or something like that. I know that it's not because of my mom bad person, but I know that she's so struggle. She has to fight for 5 children. She has to think how to provide for 5 children. So I know that so much burden in my mom. So maybe she forgot to tell us that how she loved us very much. So I grew up, become a child that never heard the word of love. So when I joined Compassion Project, I hope that someone who will sponsoring me, who will support me, he or she will be the one who speak the word of love to me. And then, but I have to wait for almost a year to get a sponsor. Finally, I got a sponsor. His name is Mr. Michael Brown from the US. So I hope that Mr. Michael Brown will send me a letter and saying that I care about you, I love you very much and everything. But it was never happened. Because after a couple months, then Mr. Michael Brown decided to cancel me, so I become unsponsored kids again. So I have to wait for another sponsor, and then there are a couple from the US, but also the same thing happened. They just couple months sponsoring me, and then they gone. So actually, it's make me disappointed. It's make me sad to know that I become unsponsored kids again, because I have the expectation that the sponsor will be the one who speak the word of love to me, but it was never happen. So even at that time, I thought that I was too ugly. I'm not handsome as my younger brother. I'm not handsome as my friends at the project. Yeah, I know that the word is ugly is a lie. But a lie, it's very hurt for a child like me. So then I have to wait for another sponsor. Finally, I got a new sponsor. They are from the US. They are a couple. Their name is Dave and Tracy Nichols. They have 2 daughters, 5 years old and 3 years old. And then, so when the project staff told me that, Erlan, you got a sponsor. So he told me with excitement, but I feel not excited anymore at that time, because I just want to keep my heart and to save my heart that probably, I just thought that probably they will sponsoring me for a couple months and then they will go. But I thanks God, because what I thought was never happen. Because Dave and Tracy Nicole really special sponsor for me. So they sponsoring me until the end of the program. So until I graduate from senior high school, they keep fighting. They didn't give up to keep sponsoring me. And they sent many letters to me. They sent the word of encouragement to me. They sent the word of love to me. They told me that how they love me as a person, how they love me. They said to me that you are a handsome boy. Yes, I am. Right? You are a good boy. You are a smart boy and everything. So she sent so many positive things about me through the letters. So through the letter, so it's made me become the person who have a self-confidence. So through sponsor letter, they are always encourage me by saying the good things about me. So it's increased the confidence in myself. And I still remember in one letter that he told me like this, that Erlan, we love you very much. We thinking about you every day. We put your picture in our fridge, in our refrigerator in the kitchen. So every day we can see you, every day we can pray for you, every day we can think about you. And sometimes the doctor took my picture and kissed it. So they kiss my picture. So when I read all of them, I feel so special. Because even my mom never hugged me. My mom never kissed me. My brother and sister never hugged me, never kissed me. But there is someone we never meet each other, but they kiss my picture. So I feel so special. And I believe that through the letters, it's make me like become today. Because I can have a self-confidence. So my sponsor trusts me a lot in myself. My sponsor invests so many things in my life. So I can be like today. So if I can be like today, I have a good life. It's because of sponsor. Because there is someone who really support me. Not only financial support, but also they gave me support in social, emotional, and many things. Because they trust me. They believe in me that I have. So through the letter also, it's bring me to the hope and dreams. Because as a poor children, we didn't dare to have a dream. Because we thinking that, probably the dream will be too high and we will not be achieve that. But through the letter, through the encouragement, they always keep encouraging me by saying, yes, you can do it. Yes, you are handsome. Yes, you are a good boy. And so many things that they invest so many things in my life. So now, I married. I married with Yvonne. So also she was former sponsor children as well. So both of us grew up in the same project, in same compassion project. So we falling in love each other when we were in the program. And then so finally we already married for 10 years now. And we are blessed by a daughter named Lovely Praise. So her name, so we call her Praise. She is 9 years old and she is in grade 3 now. And so, yeah, we believe that our daughter will be praised for God. And actually we have another plan to have another baby. So if I have a baby, then I will give name worship. So every time I go, I will bring praise and worship with me. So yeah, this is my family picture. So Yvonne and myself, as former sponsor children, we were sponsor children that long time ago. We got support from Compassion. So through Compassion project, I can go to school. I can get uniform. I can eat nutrition food at the project. Because every time we went to the project, and then we will get the meals, nutrition meals. We can go to the doctor if we get sickness. We can go, we can go for further level of education through the support of Compassion. And we were sponsored children. We grew up with support from others. We grew up with support from the sponsor. And so as former sponsored children, as alumni, Compassion alumni, we always have two dreams. So our first dream that we will never ever send our children to join Compassion project. I will never send praise, or I will never register her to be Compassion child. No, it's not because of Compassion project bad, but we know that we can raise our children without any support from others. We have been released from poverty because there is someone who really invests in our life. Not only financial, but also the social, emotional, and many things. And then the second dream that we have, so as former sponsor children, long time ago we got support from Compassion, and now we want to support other children. So my family, now we're sponsoring a child, this boy, his name is Yogirang, he is from Indonesia, and now he is big. 15 years old. So we already sponsoring him for 10 years. So I met him 3 times, and I feel so blessed to see that he growing up. Since the first time I sponsoring him, 5 years old, and now she growing up, become the youth, something like that. And around 2 months ago, I checked on the Compassion website at that time with my wife, and then we found that there was a girl 2 years old. Her name is Mika, and she's waiting for 358 days to be sponsored. And finally, we decide as family, we decide to sponsoring the second child. So her name is Mika, 2 years old, and she has the same birth date with my daughter. So this is our sponsored children now. So I believe that I can be like today, because there are so many people who invest in my life. There are project staff. There are a mentor in the Compassion program who really invest in my life. But also, there is supporter, there is a sponsor who really invest in my life. They believe in me. They talk positive things about me. And it's really matters and it's really works. So, I remember that in one verse that it says that words kill, words give life. They are either poison or fruit. You choose. So you can use your words to destroy someone's life. You can choose your words to kill someone's life. But also you can choose your words to bring life to others. You can choose your words become poison or fruit. It depends how you choose it. So I hope that you will choose your words to encourage. You can encourage each other. You can encourage your family. You can encourage your friends. You can encourage all the people who are working in the same place here. You can choose your words to bring life to someone's life. So I believe that there is a power in the encouragement. There is a power of encouragement. What is the power of encouragement? First, when we encourage someone, we are imparting courage to them. When we encourage someone, we are imparting courage to them. So I still remember that one day I went to a project, compassion project in Indonesia. So it is located in a remote area in a small village in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of forest, something like that. So I went there for a visit, project visit, and then I met with a girl, this girl. So at that time, I am in the building of compassion project, and then I looked to the front. At the front of the building, there was a playground, and she played in the playground at that time. So I just interest, and then I tried to approach her, and then I come to her, and then I come to her, and then I ask, so what is your name? She didn't answer me, but just smile. And then I asked another question. Are you in school? What grade are you? How old are you and everything? But then she just silent and keep silent, didn't speak anything. She just smiled. And then finally there was a mom running, and then he approached me and then come to me that. And then this mom said that, oh, sir, this girl is really stupid. This girl is really naughty. This girl she could not speak anything. She just silent and everything. So actually I become angry to that mom. And then I told her that, stop negative thing, stop to talk negative things about this girl. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear your voice, I said to that mom. And then finally I came to this girl, and then I did like this, and then I hold her hand, and then I talked to her that, no, you are a beautiful girl. You are precious in God's eye. You are really a smart girl, beautiful girl. You have a hope. You have a dream. And then you can achieve your dream and everything. So I try to encourage her. I try to give positive words to her. And then so I finished. So I just said, okay, bye, I will go back to the room, to the building. So in the afternoon, after I finish my visit, then I'm starting to, I will return. And then so I started to walk to my car, to the car. And then, so when I walk, I look back, there was someone who ran. And this girl runs to me. And then this girl just hugged me. I look back to her, and then, so I wait for her, and then he hugged me. And then, he said, terima kasih. So it means that thank you in Indonesia. So it was the first word that she said. Because I choose my word to give positive things about her. And then the impact, until now, she can speak. Because someone believed in her. Because someone talk good things about her. We are imparting courage when we encourage someone. And then if you still remember that my father left my family when I was 7 years old. Finally, I met him. I met him in 2012. I believe that the words spoken into others' lives today have a tremendous impact on others' lives tomorrow. So finally, I met my father in 2012. Actually, he lived in US. And he's working there in an Indonesian restaurant, but he never tell us about that. Finally, I can meet with him in the US. So for the first time, I arrived in the US in Los Angeles airport. So actually, I went to the US for compassion project. And then, so I decided to meet him, and I stay with him for a week. So when I waiting for the luggage in Los Angeles airport, I heard that someone calls my name in the back, Erlan. And then I look back, and I found this old guy. And then I approached him, and then I asked him that, are you Aming Santoso? And then he said yes, and then I know that he's my father. Because in my imagination when I was child that my father is handsome, my father is taller than me, but now she is shorter than me, something like that. And so it's very awkward moment. For the first time I met him after 22 years of separation. 22 years we never meet each other. And It's very awkward moment, so I just shake his hand, and then he took me to his home. So we need to share the room for a week, and during a week, in the middle of the week, he took a day off so we can have a sightseeing together. So he showed me the Los Angeles city and everything. And then in the afternoon, we have lunch together in a mall. So in the mall, we sit, so he sit at the front of me. So I think that this is the time for me to ask the question to him, for me to ask so many things to him, because there are so many questions in my mind at that time. So it's only two of us. And then I asked him that, why you left my family? Why you never care about us? Why you put burden in my mom's side? I know that my mom has so many burden in her life. So I asked so many questions with a bitterness, with the angriness, with the angry and bitterness, because I feel that he is a bad guy. He is a bad father. He is not a good guy, something like that. So, but he didn't answer anything. He just kept silent and kept silent. And then, after that moment, at the end of the week, I had to return to Indonesia, and then he dropped me to the airport. So we arrived in the airport, Los Angeles airport, and then I already took my trolley and then put my luggage there. I started to walk to the gate. But now I know that I have to do something with my father. I cannot return back to Indonesia with the bitterness. And then finally, I decided to left my luggage, and then I looking back to him. He still stand up there, so I ran to him. And for the first time after 22 years, I hug him for the first time. So I hug him, and then I told him that I will forget about the past. I will forget about the things that you made to my family. I don't care about your past because I care about your future. I care about your future, and I will forgive for everything that you did for my family. For me, you are my hero. When I said that for me, you are my hero, he started to cry. So we hug each other, we cry together in the middle of the airport. It's really very emotional moment for us. But I know that through that moment, it changed our relationship. It was restore our relationship. Since that moment, we can call each other. Every 2 weeks, I will call him just to asking that, what do you do and how are you and everything. So we started to build a relationship. And then 4 years later, I have another opportunity to come to Los Angeles, and then so I met him. But for the second time, it was really good relationship. We can talk each other. We can discuss so many things. And then finally, 1.5 years after that, he passed away. He passed away. But I know that I have already invested something in his life. I choose my words to speak the word of love. I choose my words to speak the word of hope. I choose my word to speak the word of life to him. And I believe that it's bring the huge impact to his life. Because even until, so I told the story of my fathers to my brother and sister, to my mom as well. And we are trying to forget about the things that what he did. So in 2018, before, so he got a sickness, he had to be in ICU. But myself and also my brother and sister, we call him, and we speak something to him that we really love him. And a week after he was in ICU, so he passed away. But it's really nice that my brother and sister also love him. We never think about the past anymore because we love him very much. And for us, he's still our father. So I believe that you can use your words to encourage someone. If you are able and if you have capacity, there are so many children waiting to be sponsored. You can see the children picture. You can access to the Compassion website. The children are real. I am the fruit. I am the evidence. I am the fruits of Compassion project. So the children's Jonathan is real. So this is what you can do. If you have a capacity, why don't you sponsoring a child? Why don't you sponsoring a child like me? Why don't you sponsoring Jonathan? Because he is waiting to be sponsored. So, and then the second thing is that you can use the letter to speak the word of love to your sponsor children. So you can make a huge impact in one child's life. And I believe through one child, it can give impact to the community. And also it can give impact to the nation. I believe that you can change the world by sponsoring a child. Because it works. And I'm the proof. I'm the evidence. The sponsorship, it works. So you can, sponsoring a child, it's 42 francs a month. Then you can send a letter to them in your language. You can send in your language because Compassion Switzerland office will do the translation. And so you will get the child's letter also in your language as well. So I hope that you will open your heart because you can change. And I believe that you have a capacity to do it, to encourage someone and to bring hope to the children in the world. Merci.